Margaret Kessler had spent 6 years building the biggest client account at her company, Westbridge. She worked late nights, solved impossible problems, and earned the trust of the client's CEO, Robert Fielding. The account was not just her job, it was something she had built with her own dedication. But her boss, Greg Halbert, had other plans. He wanted his inexperienced daughter, Lacey, to take over the account. Lacey had only been with the company for a short time and knew very little about the business. But Greg believed she was ready simply because she was his daughter. During a meeting, Greg announced that Lacey would become the new leader of the Westbridge account. Margaret did not argue or create a scene. She quietly handed over her company phone and walked away, knowing they had made a serious mistake. What Greg and Lacey did not know was that Margaret had a personal non-disclosure agreement with Robert Fielding. The agreement clearly stated that only Margaret and Robert could discuss certain confidential projects. No other person could be involved without written permission. Excited about her new position, Lacey contacted Robert with a casual email and tried to start managing the relationship. She did not realize that her message had violated the legal agreement. Soon after, Robert contacted Margaret and confirmed that the NDA was still active. When he learned that someone else had been given access to the confidential project, he called an emergency meeting. During the meeting, Robert explained that Greg and Lacey had broken the agreement. Because of their careless decision, Westbridge immediately ended its $250 million contract with the company. The room fell silent. Greg finally understood that he had ignored years of Margaret's experience and replaced her without understanding the responsibilities she carried. Lacey also realized she had been given a role she was not prepared to handle, but the problems became even bigger when the company discovered that confidential merger information and private roadmap details had been shared in internal presentations without proper approval. This created serious legal and financial risks. An internal investigation began. The board reviewed everything that had happened and concluded that Greg's poor decisions had created the crisis. He was placed on leave, and Lacey lost her client responsibilities. Many people expected Margaret to stay and fix the disaster. She had the knowledge and experience to help, but she decided that her time with the company was over. When the board asked whether she would remain, Margaret simply replied that she would leave her terms in writing. She walked out of the building with her reputation untouched. The company lost a valuable client, Greg lost his position, and Lacey learned that leadership could not be inherited, it had to be earned. In the end, Margaret did not need revenge. The choices made by others created their own consequences.